Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." This powerful wisdom is the cornerstone of today's video, where we'll explore 10 crucial things you need to quietly remove from your life. Aurelius reminds us that by mastering our inner thoughts, we can reshape our entire existence. This isn't just another video. It's an invitation to reflect, participate, and share your thoughts as we go through each point. Stay with us until the end, because this journey is about more than just gaining knowledge. It's about self-discovery and transformation. Part 1. Stop explaining yourself to those who cause you pain. When someone repeatedly causes you pain, whether it's a friend, a family member, or someone close, you don't owe them explanations. We often find ourselves caught in this exhausting cycle, hoping that if we just explain ourselves one more time, they'll finally get it, finally stop hurting us. But you don't need to sit down and justify why their actions hurt you. The best move? Let it go. No drama, no lengthy conversations trying to make them see your point of view. It's not about winning them over or demanding they apologize. It's about protecting your peace. Here's the thing. If someone keeps causing you pain, explaining yourself won't change a thing. They've shown you who they are, and that's all the explanation you need. If someone continues to cause you pain, it's not on you to fix them or make them see how they've wronged you. Walking away quietly, without the need for closure or confrontation, is often the most powerful thing you can do. It's not about revenge or even about being right. It's about taking care of yourself. No amount of justifying or defending will make them see your perspective if they're not open to it. And deep down, you probably already know this. Yet we all keep trying, hoping that maybe this time we'll be heard. The truth is, when someone consistently makes you feel misunderstood or disrespected, it's not a communication issue, it's a boundary issue. So you don't have to justify why you're stepping back, why you're choosing peace over conflict. A simple, firm no is enough when they come back around, trying to rekindle what's been broken. You're not obligated to give them more of your energy, more of your time, or more of yourself. Think about it. You don't owe anyone who's hurt you an invitation back into your life. People who truly care for you won't need constant explanations or reasons for why you've drawn your line. They'll respect it because they respect you. So don't waste time trying to make someone understand your pain if they're the ones causing it. Letting go without explaining yourself is a move of strength. It's not running away, it's simply choosing not to engage in the chaos. Like Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. Don't get dragged into their level of drama. Instead, focus on building your peace, on growing as a person, on living a life that's free of the toxic energy they bring. In the end, your peace, your happiness, and your mental well-being are what matter most. And I get it. It's hard. Especially if the person is close to you, someone you once trusted or still want in your life. But the moment you stop trying to explain yourself to them, you'll feel a shift. You'll realize how much energy you've been pouring into, trying to make someone else see your value when they're determined not to. And when you stop doing that, you'll have so much more space for yourself, for healing, for growth, for connections that lift you up instead of tear you down. Part 2. Break free from the "I'll be happy when illusion. You know the one. The idea that your happiness is just around the corner, waiting for that next milestone. I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I'm in a relationship. I'll be happy when I lose weight. It's a mindset that traps you in a constant state of waiting, always chasing, never content with where you are right now. Here's the truth. Happiness isn't something you find once you've achieved a certain goal. It's not sitting at the end of some checklist. If you're always chasing the next thing, you'll find that the finish line keeps moving. There's always going to be something else. And that's the problem with this belief. It makes your happiness conditional. You're telling yourself that you're not allowed to feel joy or contentment until you've earned it by ticking off some box. But life doesn't work that way. Happiness isn't a reward for hard work or sacrifice. It's a state of mind, a choice you make every day, regardless of your circumstances. Waiting for happiness to show up when things are perfect is a recipe for disappointment. Because the truth is, things will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, setbacks, and things you wish were different. The key is realizing that happiness is available to you right now. It's in the small moments, the daily rituals, the connections you have with others. It's in the gratitude you cultivate for what you already have, not what you think is missing. The sooner you let go of "I'll be happy when," the sooner you'll start to see that happiness isn't tied to any particular outcome. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that external achievements will bring you joy. Society tells us to chase success, money, relationships, status. But ask yourself, how many times have you achieved something and thought it would change everything, only to find that it didn't really make you any happier in the long run? That's because happiness comes from within, not from the outside world. Part 3. Move in silence and let success speak. The excitement of setting a new goal often makes us want to share it with everyone, whether it's a career ambition, a new business idea, or a fitness transformation. We're eager to let people know what we're up to, thinking it will motivate us or bring in support. But here's the truth. Not everyone is rooting for your success. Oversharing your goals can make you vulnerable to negative energy, whether it's subtle doubt or outright discouragement. Not everyone around you will be happy to see you thrive. Some people will be content with your friendship, support, or company, as long as you're not doing better than them. The minute your goals start reflecting ambition, drive, or potential, you may find that their enthusiasm for you fades, or worse, they might undermine your efforts. This is why you need to move in silence. Keep your goals close to your chest and let your actions speak for themselves. When you share your ambitions too freely, you open the door for others to project their insecurities onto you. They might tell you that what you're trying to do is too risky, too unrealistic, or too difficult. But remember, their limits are not your limits. If you let their doubts creep in, it can derail your progress before you've even had a chance to really start. The truth is, some people are comfortable with you as long as you stay in the same lane as them. But the moment you start leveling up, pushing past the boundaries they've set for themselves, you'll see a shift. They may act like they're on your side, but underneath there's a discomfort, a silent hope that you won't outgrow them. They might not say it out loud, but sometimes people only cheer for you when you're not doing better than they are. By keeping your moves quiet, you protect yourself from this negativity. You don't owe anyone a front row seat to your progress. Achieve your goals without announcing them and let your results do the talking. There's a certain power in letting your success surprise people. Instead of telling everyone what you're going to do, just do it. Then let them see the results. The energy you use explaining yourself, justifying your goals, or seeking approval can be much better spent on the grind. When you're focused on the work, rather than the noise around you, you stay grounded in what matters, making your vision a reality. So in the new year, move in silence. Keep your focus sharp, your goals sacred, and your ambition protected. Not everyone needs to know what you're working on. In fact, not everyone deserves to know. Let your actions speak louder than any announcement could. Trust yourself, stay disciplined, and when the time is right, your results will say everything. Part 4. Stand your ground. No more saying yes to everything. We've all been there, overcommitting, bending over backward to please others, afraid of disappointing someone by saying no. But here's the harsh truth. If you're always saying yes to everyone else, you're constantly saying no to yourself. Saying yes when you don't want to is more than just being agreeable. It's about prioritizing everyone else's needs over your own. It's about feeling like you owe people your time, your energy, and your peace. But the reality is, the more you say yes to things that don't align with your goals, your values, or your well-being, the more you lose yourself in the process. You become a passenger in your own life, letting others steer. Here's where a little Stoic wisdom comes in. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." There's immense power in realizing that you have control over your actions. Just because someone asks something of you doesn't mean you owe them a yes. In fact, saying no when necessary is a form of self-respect and boundary setting. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's within our control, and that includes how we spend our time and energy. You cannot control others' expectations or reactions, but you can control how you respond to them. By saying yes to everything, you surrender that control and allow others to dictate your life. You stretch yourself too thin, sacrificing your own goals and peace of mind just to make someone else happy. It's time to stop being a pushover. Start protecting your energy. Saying no doesn't make you selfish or unkind. It makes you someone who knows the value of their time. Not everyone deserves your yes, and not every request requires your involvement. When you're always available to everyone else, you become unavailable to yourself, your goals, and your priorities. Think of it this way. Every yes you give to something unimportant is a no to something that truly matters. The Stoics understood the importance of living intentionally, focusing on what is essential and letting go of what is not. So, in the new year, practice the art of discerning when a yes serves you and when it doesn't. You can be kind, generous, and helpful without being a doormat. Boundaries are a form of self-care, not selfishness. Remember, you don't owe anyone your time or energy just because they asked. You have the right to choose where you invest yourself. So stop saying yes out of obligation, guilt, or fear of rejection. Be deliberate. Be intentional. When you start saying no to things that don't serve you, you'll find that you have more space for the things that do. Take control of your life. Reclaim your time and stop letting others dictate your path. You're not here to please everyone. You're here to live your life according to your own values, purpose, and peace. Like Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. So be the master of your time and energy. Say no when you need to, and watch how much more fulfilled and in control you feel. Part 5. Stop taking things personally. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that every comment, every criticism, or every cold interaction is somehow about you. But here's the truth. Most of what people do or say has very little to do with you. They're acting based on their own experiences, moods, and perceptions, yet we often carry the weight of other people's words as if they're an attack on our character or worth. Here's where Stoicism can change your perspective. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." What people say or do might sting in the moment, but their actions don't define you. How you choose to react is where your power lies. By taking things personally, you give others control over your emotions, your peace of mind, and even your sense of self-worth. When someone snaps at you or criticizes you, it's tempting to spiral into self-doubt or frustration. But most of the time, their behavior reflects what's happening in their world, not yours. Maybe they're stressed, insecure, or going through something difficult. Maybe their comment wasn't meant to hurt you at all, and it's just the way you interpreted it. By taking it personally, you internalize something that was never really about you to begin with. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." When you stop taking everything personally, you reclaim that power. You let go of the need for approval or validation from others. You realize that their judgments, criticisms, or praise don't define who you are. You define that. This shift isn't about becoming indifferent or emotionally disconnected. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't determined by other people's moods or opinions. It's about understanding that you can still care deeply without letting someone else's behavior disturb your inner peace. Next time someone criticizes you, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, is this really about me or is it about them? More often than not, it's about them. By making this mental shift, you'll find that you're less reactive, more centered, and more in control of your emotions. By stopping the habit of taking things personally, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster that other people's opinions can create. You'll find yourself less affected by negativity, more resilient in the face of criticism, and able to focus on what truly matters, living your life with clarity, purpose, and peace. Part 6. Stop complaining. Take charge of your life. We all fall into it sometimes, venting about how unfair things are, how nothing's going right, or how we're always dealing with the same problems. It feels good in the moment, but here's the thing. Complaining doesn't change a thing. It just keeps you stuck in the same cycle of frustration without any real progress. Complaining is a habit that not only drains your energy, but also the energy of those around you. Every time you focus on what's wrong, you reinforce the belief that you're powerless to fix it. But that's not true. You always have the power to change your mindset. Take action, or at the very least, Shift how you respond to a situation. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The essence of this quote is about action. Life is going to throw challenges at you, some you can control, some you can't. Complaining about them doesn't alter reality. What does make a difference is how you choose to respond. Instead of wasting energy complaining, channel that energy into problem solving, into finding solutions, or into simply accepting the things that are beyond your control. Think about it. What has complaining ever solved? Nothing. It's a passive response to life's challenges. When you complain, you're focusing on the problem, not the solution. And over time, it creates a victim mentality, where you start to believe that life is happening to you and that you're powerless to change your circumstances. But you're not powerless. Complaining blinds you to the options and opportunities that are always available. If something's not going the way you want, you have two choices: change it or change your attitude about it. There's a kind of strength in accepting the things you can't change without the need to complain. It's not about being passive. It's about recognizing that complaining won't fix what's broken. What will fix it is action, or when action isn't possible, acceptance. Epictetus reminded us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Complaining increases your wants by focusing on what's wrong, rather than appreciating what's right. Letting go of complaints helps you see the blessings and opportunities you already have. In the new year, make it your mission to stop complaining. If something's wrong, either do something about it or let it go. Complaining keeps you stuck, but taking responsibility for how you respond, that's where your power lies. Instead of talking about what's wrong, ask yourself what you can do to make it better. And if it's truly out of your control, practice letting it go. And not only will you find yourself with more energy, but you'll also notice that your perspective shifts. You'll see opportunities where before there were only obstacles. You'll build resilience because instead of focusing on the problem, you'll be focused on what you can do about it. Leave complaining behind. Choose action, choose perspective, and choose peace. Part 7. Stop endless social media scrolling. Take back your time and focus. Make it a priority to stop wasting time on social media, especially on content that adds no value to your life or, even worse, pulls you further from your goals. We all know how easy it is to open an app for just a few minutes and then suddenly realize you've been scrolling for hours, consuming content that doesn't serve you. It feels harmless at first, but those minutes turn into hours. Hours you could have spent moving toward the life you want to build. The problem with mindless scrolling is that it doesn't just waste your time. It hijacks your focus. You start the day with good intentions, maybe even goals you're excited to pursue. But the more you dive into content that doesn't matter, the more you lose your clarity. Social media is full of distractions, and while not all of them are bad, the truth is most of the content we consume doesn't help us grow. Worse, it can lead to constant comparisons, which only chip away at your confidence. Seneca put it perfectly when he said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Time is your most valuable resource. Every second you spend scrolling through content that doesn't uplift you, inspire you, or push you toward your goals is time you'll never get back. And what do we get in return for that time? Often it's just a sense of dissatisfaction, wondering why someone else's life looks better, why they're achieving more, or why we feel stuck in comparison. The comparison trap is one of the biggest dangers of spending too much time on social media. You see the highlights of everyone else's life and start doubting your own path. But here's what you need to remember. What you see online is not the full picture. You're seeing curated, filtered versions of other people's lives. You're not seeing the struggles, the setbacks, or the moments of doubt they go through. Comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel is not just unfair, it's destructive to your own sense of purpose and progress. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary?" This question is key when it comes to your time on social media. Is what you're watching, reading, or scrolling through necessary? Is it helping you grow? Is it adding value to your life? If the answer is no, then why are you giving it your time? In the new year, it's time to take control of how you use social media. Instead of letting it pull you into endless distractions, be intentional with what you consume. Follow people and accounts that inspire you, educate you, or align with your goals. Unfollow or mute the content that makes you feel small, that sparks comparison, or that drains your energy. Set limits on how much time you spend scrolling and prioritize content that pushes you forward, not pulls you back. Remember, you have control over what you allow into your mind. Don't let social media be the thing that robs you of your focus, your confidence, or your time. Use it with purpose, and let go of the need to constantly compare your journey to someone else's. In the new year, commit to using social media as a tool for growth, not as a distraction. Part 8. Stop the scarcity mentality. Unlock abundance. This belief that there's never enough, whether it's money, opportunities, success, or love, keeps you trapped in a cycle of fear and limitation. The scarcity mindset convinces you that life is a competition, that you have to grab what you can before it's gone, and that someone else's gain is your loss. But the truth is, this mindset is holding you back more than anything else. A scarcity mindset makes you think that the world is a pie with limited slices. If someone else gets a piece, there's less for you. But life isn't a pie. There's more than enough to go around, and when you operate from a place of abundance, you realize that opportunities, success, and growth aren't finite. The scarcity mindset tricks you into believing that you have to cling to what you have, that you can't take risks, and that you're always on the verge of losing out. Seneca once said, "The greatest wealth is a poverty of desires." The scarcity mindset feeds off desires that aren't rooted in reality. It convinces you that you need more, that you're always one step away from losing it all, and that you can never have enough. But the greatest wealth comes from realizing that you already have what you need to thrive, and more opportunities are constantly being created. The world is full of abundance if you're willing to see it that way. Think about how the scarcity mindset shows up in your life. Maybe you hesitate to share your ideas because you fear someone will steal them. Maybe you hold back from supporting others because you think their success will diminish yours. Or perhaps you're constantly stressed about money, even when you're doing well, because you fear it could all disappear at any moment. This mindset makes you play small, keeps you focused on what you lack, and blinds you to the possibilities around you. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." The scarcity mindset poisons your thoughts with fear and anxiety. It keeps you in a constant state of lack, where you're always worried about what's missing, rather than appreciating what's present. When you're always focused on what you don't have, it's impossible to see the abundance that already exists in your life. In the new year, shift to an abundance mindset. Believe that there is enough for everyone, including you. Understand that someone else's success doesn't diminish your own. It can inspire you. It can show you what's possible. When you stop fearing that opportunities are limited, you'll start to see them everywhere. When you stop clinging to the idea that you have to compete for resources, you'll realize that collaboration and generosity lead to even greater success. Let go of the scarcity mindset that keeps you small, anxious, and reactive. Instead, step into the belief that life has more than enough to offer. Trust that the more you give, the more you receive. Know that opportunities will continue to present themselves when you're open to them. In the new year, focus on growth, expansion, and the endless possibilities that are out there for you. It's time to move forward with a mindset of abundance, not limitation. Part 9. Stop chasing approval. Live for yourself. In the new year, it's time to break free from the habit of living for others' approval. This mindset of constantly seeking validation from the people around you, whether it's family, friends, co-workers, or even strangers, keeps you trapped in a life that isn't fully your own. The need for approval makes you prioritize what others think over what you truly want. It can shape your decisions, your actions, and even your sense of self-worth. But here's the truth. You'll never find real fulfillment living someone else's version of your life. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Think about that. We spend so much time worrying about what others think of us, but at the end of the day, their opinions won't lead to our personal happiness. They're not the ones who live with the consequences of our choices. We are. So why give their opinions more weight than your own? The reality is, when you live for others' approval, you're never truly free. You become afraid to take risks, make bold decisions, or follow your true desires because you're worried about being judged. You may even avoid doing what you know is right for you because you're afraid of stepping out of line. But here's the thing. Living for approval robs you of your authenticity. It stops you from living a life that's true to who you are. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." What he meant is that you have to be willing to let people misunderstand you. You have to be okay with not everyone liking your choices, with some people thinking you're wrong, or with disappointing others. True growth and personal freedom come when you stop needing others to agree with your path. The more you lean into who you really are, the less you'll care about whether others approve or not. In the new year, stop living for the applause. Don't let your happiness depend on how many people like, agree with, or praise you. The approval you're searching for. It can only come from within. When you live authentically, in alignment with your values and purpose, you'll find that the right people will respect and admire you for being true to yourself, not for fitting into their mold. Part 10. Stop procrastinating. In the new year, one of the most powerful habits you can break is procrastination. We've all been guilty of it, putting off tasks, delaying important decisions, telling ourselves we'll do it tomorrow. But the reality is, procrastination robs you of time, progress, and peace of mind. The longer you wait to take action, the more you allow fear, doubt, and inertia to hold you back. When you procrastinate, you're not just delaying the task at hand, you're also delaying your growth and the opportunities that come from it. Every moment you put something off is a moment you could be investing in your future. Whether it's that project you've been meaning to start, the difficult conversation you need to have, or the goal you've been pushing aside, procrastination creates an invisible barrier between where you are now and where you want to be. Marcus Aurelius said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." The Stoics were all about urgency, not in a panicked way, but in recognizing that time is limited and precious. Every day you procrastinate is a day you'll never get back. Life is happening right now, and every delay pulls you further away from the person you're trying to become. When you procrastinate, you often think you're buying time, but you're actually just adding stress. Tasks don't disappear because you ignore them. They sit there, in the back of your mind, creating anxiety and draining your energy. You know they need to get done, but the more you delay, the bigger and more daunting they seem. This leads to a cycle of avoidance, where the fear of failure or perfectionism takes over, and nothing gets done. Seneca said, "While we wait for life, life passes." Procrastination keeps you waiting for the perfect moment, the right motivation or ideal circumstances. But the perfect moment never comes. Life is happening now, in this moment, with its imperfections and challenges. Waiting for the right time is just another form of procrastination. The truth is, the best time to start is always now. The longer you procrastinate, the more you undermine your confidence. Every time you delay, you reinforce the belief that the task is too difficult, that you're not ready, or that it's not possible. But once you take that first step, you often realize that what you were avoiding isn't as overwhelming as you thought. Action builds momentum, and that momentum will carry you forward. In the new year, stop letting procrastination hold you back. Start small if you need to, but start. Take that first step, even if it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Create it by doing. The satisfaction of completing a task and moving closer to your goals will always outweigh the temporary comfort of avoidance. Remember, the only way to get where you want to be is by taking action today. So stop procrastinating. Your future self is waiting for you to show up. In the new year, the biggest transformations you'll experience won't come from what you add to your life, but from what you remove. Whether it's cutting out toxic habits, letting go of limiting mindsets, or stopping behaviors that keep you stuck, every step you take to clear away the unnecessary brings you closer to a life of purpose, peace, and growth. Remember, the changes you make now will set the foundation for your future self. It's time to take control of your life. Stop letting others' opinions dictate your path and start living with intention and clarity. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss more content like this. And let's keep the conversation going. Comment below and share. Today, I am taking steps for my future self. I want to hear what you're doing to make the new year your year of real transformation. Let's support each other in building the future we deserve.